Oftentimes we laugh at Donald Trump on this show, but it's not just here at TYT where people laugh at him and mock him. World leaders have been doing it as well. Now, the recent example was at the NATO summit, and there's video evidence of it that it's gone viral. Let's take a look.
It's a big 40 minutes.
All right, so if you're listening to the audio version of this, let me give you the details on what's going on. In the video, you have Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, French President Emmanuel Macron, and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. They were seen having an animated conversation about what appeared to be Trump's lateness to a bilateral meeting earlier that day. In the video, you saw Justin Trudeau argue or make a point about how Trump likes to start off with like a 40-minute press conference.
He's such a clown that Boris Johnson is laughing at him with Justin Trudeau. That's really says it all.
And actually, it says the second thing about it as well, because they're obviously not doing this as some sort of left-wing cabal. Boris Johnson is as right-wing as it gets.
Yep.
So they all know that the president of the United States is Bozo the Clown. Even the right-winger, the extreme right-winger in the group's like, well, laughing along, like, of course, everybody knows Trump's an idiot, right? And so if you get mad at them for laughing at Trump behind his back, you'd have to get mad at the whole entire world. Everybody laughs at Trump. And Trump, as Anna's gonna tell you, criticized Trudeau and called him two-faced, right? Well, okay, then I guess he loves the Young Turks. We're not two-faced, we laugh right in front of you, okay? We laugh in your face because you're a dummy and everyone knows it.
And look, this is something that Trump cares a lot about. He's obsessed with the notion that anyone would laugh at him or anyone would laugh at the country. In fact, here he is making that point over and over and over again.
They are laughing at us back in Iran. When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
They're sitting around their table just setting the price of oil and laughing at us. I know people involved with OPEC. They laugh at the stupidity of our country. They laugh at us.
Can you imagine General MacArthur or any of our great generals putting up with what we're putting up with ISIS? They're just scoffing at us. They're laughing at us.
China's laughing at us.
I know many of the people in China, I know many of the big business people, and they're laughing at us. They think we're so stupid.
One of the big representatives from China was talking about global warming, and I know that underneath he's laughing.
Then the president of China comes over and we have a state dinner for him, honoring him. What a wonderful guy. And he's laughing all the way back to China. They think we are the dumbest son of a in the world, all right? They think our representatives don't know what they're doing. They laugh at us behind our back. The world is laughing at us. They think we're stupid.
They weren't back then, but they certainly are today.
Yeah, look, again, it's projection. I don't know anyone that used that phrase that much. And the reason he uses it that much is because he knows people laugh at him behind his back and thinking how stupid he is. Look, now I'm doing a little bit of speculation, but probably, again, his dad was incredibly cruel to him.
And laughed at him?
He probably laughed at him all the time and said, hey, listen, dummy, did you go bankrupt again? Fine, I'll bail you out. Oh, did you flunk out of school again? I'll have somebody write a note. Hey, dummy, you want to get out of Vietnam? I'll have somebody write a note about bone spurs you don't have. Hey, dummy. And so he probably lived with this his whole life.
Yeah.
And so that's why he keeps saying it over and over again. So to see the other world leaders laughing at him behind his back, oh my God, that's got to get under every insecurity that he has, under his orange skin as much as possible, especially after what happened at the UN.
Yeah, well, it's what you make a case to have empathy for him, but then you remember it's Donald Trump, so immediately.
I have no empathy. Look, since we're on the topic of people laughing at other people, let me refresh your memory of what Donald Trump did to Dr. Christine Blasey Ford last year. In the middle of that horrible hearing where Blasey Ford detailed what Brett Kavanaugh, who's now a Supreme Court justice, allegedly did to her in attempting to rape her. She talked about how the thing that she remembers the most was how the boys were laughing as she was being assaulted, okay? And Donald Trump turned around, did a rally, and had people at that rally laugh at her. And that story, that was the story last year that really broke me, because it was so unbelievably cruel. And this is in the middle of a woman putting herself in the most vulnerable position imaginable, with people attacking her. She had to move her family. It was disgusting. So he deserves this and way more.
No, I understand that. And I mean, it just goes to show the psychology of someone who's so insecure and so not so lacking confidence in his own stature and abilities that he constantly needs to put other people down, because he's always fearful of what exactly happens here, where he's not being taken seriously. And he tries so hard to be taken seriously, and he's so has so much bluster that it is a truly cartoonishly clownish way to be, and he's not smart enough to pull it off. So everyone's laughing at him constantly, and that's why he does that ridiculous handshake where he pulls people in. Yeah. He always has to feel like he's the biggest guy in the room, because he never feels like the biggest guy in the room. Yeah. Underneath it all.
So, I want to buttress that point. I want to go to what happened at the United Nations. So this was a little while back. We have a video of it. And then I want to tell you what he said about it afterwards to give you a sense of his deep insecurity. So here he is talking to the United Nations a little while ago.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Oh, see, he's mortified there.
Yeah.
When he said that we've accomplished more in 2 years than any other administration, they literally LOL'd. They laughed out loud. And then he said, I didn't expect that reaction, and they laughed louder.
Yeah.
So obviously he was deeply embarrassed by that. He came out afterwards and said, no, the UN attendees, quote, weren't laughing at me, they were laughing with me.
Yeah, but like, you acknowledged in the moment that they were laughing at you. That's why you said if they were laughing with you, you'd be like, hell yeah, right. Yeah, you got.
I didn't expect
and he didn't make
reaction.
a joke, but that's also why he watches Fox News all day, because they just validate him constantly. Because there's a hole in him that cannot be filled, and it just needs constant validation. I would love if his brain was studied someday after he passes away, not anytime soon. But like, what's going on in there? I gotta figure it out.
Well, I mean, he's lacking an empathy gene, unquestionably. So, but look. We can get back into his psychology another time, but last thing about this is, so he says, oh my God, Trudeau's so two-faced. Like, don't you know? You know, right? You know everybody thinks you're a dummy. Like, even all the Republicans think you're a dummy. And so like, does he really, like, is his self-delusion so thick that when he watches Fox News, he thinks like, no, I bet people don't think I'm a dummy. I bet they think that I'm really smart. Yeah, that's it. I think this country really likes me. The polling shows you're a disaster. 51% of the country thinks you should be impeached and removed from office.
He knows.
70% of people know that you did something deeply wrong in Ukraine. We can go on and on. Your polling numbers have never gotten above 50%. You're the most unpopular president we have ever had.
He's been booed at sporting events. Yes, like he knows, Cenk. He knows. That's why he's so deeply insecure. He knows. And look, the thing about Trudeau being two-faced, right? Like, I kind of get where he's coming from there, because remember, Donald Trump is the kind of person who only works with you if you're constantly complimenting him and stroking his ego. And so world leaders have been doing that in an effort to get him to play nice, to play along. So I'm sure Trudeau has been cordial and civil and even complimentary in his discussions with Donald Trump. But does that mean that he actually likes Donald Trump or believes those things? No, he's two-faced because you kind of have to be two-faced with Trump.
Yeah, well, diplomacy is the one place where it would be allowed. Like, if you do it in politics and you're lying to your voters, you're slimy and it's unacceptable. You do it in business, you're slimy, etc. But in diplomacy, you do have to be overly nice so that you can actually get to deals, whether it's peace deals or trade deals. So Trudeau did turn around and say, no, we have an excellent relationship. But he's human, they're all human. So what do you like? You want them to be robots behind the scenes and be like, oh no, guys, here we are at a cocktail party. We don't know we're being taped. Isn't Donald Trump an intellectual giant? Yes, I do declare he really is. Nobody's gonna say that. In their real world and in their real life, of course they think he's a dummy because he is a dummy.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't wait for the next episode of Real House Leaders of the World, right? Where they're gonna throw glasses of wine in each other's faces.
Yeah, and they'll do a cutaway to Trump and he'll be like, Norway, was that you? You were laughing at me at the UN summit?
Like, transition to like, yeah.
Real House Leaders of Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.